Hey guys, it's Frank here and I'm back with another video. In this video I wanted to show you something I've been playing around with for a little bit while now. It's the AI art that you see everywhere. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably seen some of the things that I've been generating and stuff. And many people have asked, how are you doing it? What is it? Can I do it? Those type of questions. And I'm going to try to answer that as quickly as possible in this video, just so you can get an understanding. Maybe you like to play with it yourself, and just get a general understanding of how these are being created. I do a lot of different forms of art. I have all my life, whether it be drawing using pencil or charcoal or ebony pencil or ink, you name it. I've probably dabbled it in some sort or another. Acrylic paints, watercolor, you name it. And it's just something that I find relaxing. And so as new media comes out, such as you've seen some of my art, again, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've seen some of the digital art that I've done either on my iPad or, just in general. So I just want to get into this right away so you can understand. The image you're looking at is actually an image that I generated here recently using this tool. And the tool that I'm talking about actually is Midjourney. You can see it here. It is midjourney.com. This is the page. You actually, if you follow the Get Started, it'll explain to you how you get started with Midjourney. You actually have to access it using Discord. I'm not going to get into that. You can follow the instructions. It's really easy, or it can be easy. They give you step-by-step instructions. It talks about pricing here. I've had a few people ask about pricing. I'm just going to get that out of the way real quick here. You can get by with the free trial. You're not going to get very many hours. I mean, you don't even get you get not even a half hour of playing around per month. But you can, of course. Oh, that says half an hour per lifetime. I didn't realize that. They must have changed it. I think it's still listed as. Let me go back up here just a moment. It's still listed as being in beta. Join the beta here, but if you join one of the paid versions, let me go back here again. There are paid versions depending on which you want to use. You can see the different options here. One thing that I wanted to point out is this general commercial terms. And it says if you've subscribed at any point, you have the right to use the image to profit or anything like that. But if you make more than $1 million, they suggest you use the Pro plan. And if you've made $1 million using Midjourney, you can definitely afford the $60 a month. So that's just that in a nutshell. So as I said, you have to use it through the Discord app. The Discord is used for a wide range of things. And a lot of people use it for just chatting or talking and things of that. Let me get to my Discord channel here. Oops. Of course, I would mess it up as I got there. Here we go. This is my channel. These are just some of the things that I've been playing with. Some of the things I was fiddling around with an idea, was talking with a friend, and they were talking about, old songs. I thought about, Michael Jackson as a bunny or a rabbit, type of thing. You're trying to get that leather jacket. And I've done a few other things, and I'll show you some of those in a bit, as I said. But this is pretty much what it is. If you're not familiar with AI, which is artificial intelligence, there's many different ways. There's, you've heard of different text generators generating stories or articles or things like that, and I'll cover that in a different video. But with art, you're just pretty much describing, as you can see here, a cute plush bunny standing wearing a red leather jacket and buckles. Now, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do. But to start off, you actually just put in a / and you need to select one of these options. Image. And this is the way I do it. There's many different ways to do it, but you always have to start with the prompt. Now, you can turn on like buttons and features like that where you can just pick up buttons to do different things or generate different things. But I've been doing a lot in the size of for like iPhone wallpapers, or desktop wallpapers, as you can see in my background here on the computer. So I like doing a lot with trees in spring. And I put a comma there, and as you play around with it, you'll know a difference if you're using like commas or if you use double colons. Different things happen. So it's a matter of just playing around. In this case, I'm going to use the comma. Tree in spring with a river in the middle at sunset. And I'm just going to leave it that simple. Now, normally, I can run it like that and we'll come up with something different. I've been adding some aspect ratio, which is what the AR is for, and I'll tell it 9:16, which is the ratio for a iPhone or a phone setting to give me a screen wallpaper. And I like to stylize it, so I can add the S command, and it goes up to 1,000. So closer to 1,000, the wilder the image could get. The closer to a 0 to 100, more accurate it comes to what you've put in. So right now I'll just start with say like 600 on the style, and I'll just leave it at that. Well, I'm actually going to put in one more. I'm going to do version 5, which just came out recently. So I will go ahead and click that, and depending on the traffic, how many people are actually generating images right now, it could take just a moment for that to come up, or it can pop up quickly. And of course, since we are on live training, it's going to take a little bit more time. Now this G is with Grammarly. I use this. I could turn that out, but I'll just leave it out of the way right at the moment. Grammarly is a tool to help write better. So you can see that it's starting to generate. It's saying that it's at 15% fast. So in the credits, if you noticed, it said like fast engine or fast time, fast rendering. That just depends. You have so many hours of fast rendering, and then you just have to use whatever you get. You can still generate, it's just not as fast. So you can see that I have 4 different images popped up. Now with each AI generator, and there are hundreds of them, I could list them here, but I won't. Some of them are just, they only give you a square image, and sometimes it's just one image at a time, or you can pick from up to 1 to 4 images. Midjourney is just the one I like the most. I've tried several of them, and the results I get with Midjourney are unmatched with any of the others that I've tried. You can see it, we're at 93%, and it's still generating, and so it's just about done, and I can go to the next step. But the quality is just amazing. And of course, from when I first started to now, the quality has improved greatly as they've gone through the different versions. So if I click on this and open in a browser, it's going to pop open a browser here on my other screen. Let me maximize that so we can see it here. So you can see the different images that we got. Now I can expand on it a little bit more. These are the top 2, and you can see this is just the the render of how it looks now. I can choose which one or all 4 of them to upscale, and it'll finish making this more refined. But you can see the quality here that I could easily, this easily looks like a photo. I've had people ask, are these photos you're taking? In some cases, I do use some that are that look like a photo, and other times I try to go different, and I'll explain that in just a moment. So you can see that we have 4 images here, all 4 different images. So let me explain what our next steps are. So I'll click off here. We have these rows of buttons here, or if you want to call them that. U is for upscale, so it's going to take it to the next step and upscale it and make it sharper and more refined. And this is a different version, so I can do a version of version 1, version 2, version. So this is image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. So upscale image 1, upscale image 2, and so on, or give me a different version of these, or spend something totally different. So I could click this. But in the case of this video, I'm just going to click on upscale 1. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Upscale 2, upscale 3. It adds it as another prompt, so it moves it up the page. And I tried to click too fast. So it's going to generate those. Generally pretty quick since it's already been generated. You can see it's generating all 4 of them pretty quickly. So we have all 4 of them there. So if I was to look at these again, fully upscaled, you'll see that they're more sharp. This is actually the actual size here. They're more sharp. The reflections are just amazing. So you can see this is in spring. We get the buds flowering, the trees flowering or blossoming, or even just growing leaves. And I just think these are amazing. I get lost in my words just looking at them. So once that I have them, I can open up. What I should have done is I can click this, and it says open up in a browser. I probably could have done it a different way too, but then I can save image as, so I can just save it right to my computer. I'm going to do that, and I'll go back and do all of them. But then I can, or I can open these up on my phone and just use it as a phone wallpaper if I want. I could put them on a print store, which I do. I actually have a training where I talk about that as well. But I could go to a service and print these off on canvas or posters or just about anything possible. Maybe you have a water bottle. There's a service that I use called printify.com. That, if I wanted to put this on a wrap around a water bottle, or use a part of it to put on a coffee cup or t-shirt even. I've done that as well on my t-shirt store. If you go to franknicities.com, I've started to do a few t-shirts there. I mean, not t-shirts, but like mugs and different things like that. Most of them here are t-shirts or stickers that I've created. These are all ones that I've actually created in Photoshop or Illustrator in different services. But like these here are ones that I've done in using AI art. This was actually, I've taken an image. This is one I did in Photoshop. This is I take that back. This wasn't AI art. This is actually an image that I took from a public domain site and modified it. As you can see, I have a sunset there in the sunflower and then clouds behind it. And let me back up here. So this one here is one that I actually generated the graphic using AI art. Lions are kind of my thing. So I did this one here. As you can see, it's kind of a cartoon lion wearing headphones. So, you can do those type of things with that. I do like a lot of landscapes. One of them that I did recently was, if I can find it here real quick, I was working on some background repeating patterns, which comes in handy for people doing like cups and coffee mugs or arts and crafts. These are ones that I've all generated here recently. Same way with those. Let me see here. There's some funny things I'm trying, like cat and Astro Cat. That's what I called that one. That's what we came up with. I tried different ideas from time to time. Some different. This is the story of Benaiah fighting a lion on a snowy day. It's part of a Bible story. Just thought I'd come up and see what I would do with that. This is Moses if he was in the 21st century. Just as I said, playing with different ideas. Did this one for my granddaughter. She likes her rain boots and pastel colors and bunnies. So I just thought I would do that as well. So different things. Being in architecture, I like the gargoyles. They were meant to ward off the evil for the building. Different abstracts. So I'm trying to get to one. Like if I've got like reading library. Different reading rooms. Things that people dream about or think about. Coming up with some cool ideas. I was trying to find. I did some. What I was looking for actually is like on the red planet. Yeah, I jump all over the place. There we go. So we have this one here, like on a red planet. I didn't say which red planet. We'd think of Mars, but this is like an expedition on Mars or on a red planet. I think is what I actually called it. Yeah, in the middle of a deep, dense jungle on a distant red planet. That's what I'd put in as the keywords, and that's what I got. So, so the different things that you can come up with, you can see from the ideas that I had. McDonald's on a red planet. One thing that they don't do very well is actually putting words in, but you can kind of see some of the things that I did there. I was thinking of, my dad's actually working on carving a cane for me. Not that I need one, it just, he likes wood carving, so I generated some ideas that way. Again, some more different wallpapers for phones. Another red planet one I thought came really cool. I'm going to open this one in a browser, and it should upscale. It's not. I can't upscale it. As you can see there, looks pretty cool. The detail is pretty sharp. So let's go ahead and generate another one here so you can kind of get an idea of some of the things that you can do. I'll do a different one, but in a something that I've done in the past. as I said, I was in architecture. My college degree is actually in drafting, which is drawing, illustrating for mechanical and engineering drawings, like architecture, mechanical drawings, and stuff of that sort. And I actually had a job in that at one time. So one of the ideas that I had, and I'll just redo it here real quick, is this is kind of crazy, off the wall, but I just was curious what it would see. So I would say, like, the Flintstones house, if designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, which, if you're unfamiliar, that's a pretty popular architecture architect. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. An architect from several decades ago. So if Flintstones house, if designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. So we'll go that way, and I will put in the aspect ratio of, this time, instead of 9:16 where it's tall, I'm going to go 16:9, which will make it wide for like a desktop paper here. And again, we'll go with the style of, this time let's do 750. And I could put some others, like if I wanted to put a quality ranking of 3, put the space. And again, we'll do the V5 for version 5 of the beta. And I think we'll just leave it at that and go. Now, if you have an issue or an error, it'll pop up there and say, you didn't put something right. Like if I put 1 dash instead of 2, it would flag that. Or if I didn't put 16:9, it would flag that, and it'll just tell you that that's an invalid command. This time we're getting something a little bit faster. We'll see what we get, and it's always interesting. I like watching to see how this happens, or this how's it comes to life. And of course, if you don't like how it comes to life, you could change the words, or change the, I could say the Flintstone house, comma, to see if it came up with something different. Or put Frank Lloyd Wright designs of the Flintstones house, type of scenario. So come up with some really cool ideas. And what I think is really cool, and the ones that I had done previously, it actually uses like stone as the material, but it gives it the design of something that Frank Lloyd Wright would have done. If you look at some of his work, you'll see that shown in this artwork, or what's being generated here. Now, of course, obviously, there's some discrepancy. People will complain and say, well, you're ripping off Frank Lloyd Wright, blah, 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 But, these are things that he wouldn't have done. And it's just, it's creative, whatever. I just like to see how it's done. So we're at 93%. And so we have, I'm going to click these and open in a browser. It's going to pop that open again. And so you can see, you can actually see that it was done with bedrock or stone, or I said bedrock, from the town of Bedrock. So we have these here. We can see, glass windows, and of course, if you remember Flintstones, they actually didn't have glass. They just had holes in the wall. But you can kind of see the style and architecture of Frank Lloyd Wright in here, and just some of the things that I just think it's kind of cool. So just the creativity is just about, or the ideas are limitless of what you could come up with, and some of the things that you could do with this. I could show you many of them that I've done, but one thing that you can do, if you're curious, is if you go to the Discord site here, I do believe, they have a showcase here. Now, I will warn, with Midjourney, they do not allow like nudes or certain words, like certain body parts or female body parts, or different things like that. But you always have those people that try to get away or try to do things. So before I click on showcase, I just wanted to give you that warning that some possibilities could happen there. But on showcase, it shows like this is the community showcase of what's done. You can see this is a coloring book style page. I am actually just about finished with a coloring book using Midjourney. I was doing one on animals of the not tropics, something like that. But you can see here, like this is a the Iron Man suit costume, mechanical parts. It actually tells you, it actually tells you what the words they used, and you can actually come in here and find out. If I'm logged in, I would have to. It says it's describe. I'd have to sign in. Yeah, I'm in a different browser, so I'm not logged in with that. I could log in, and it would actually pull up mine as well. It gives you the community showcase. It shows mine, and it shows like what's most recent, what's top, and what it says recent and top up there. But it shows it in a different way. So you can kind of scroll through here. These are kind of cool. There's a beta fish in the galaxy. That's not gonna let me. When I'm logged in, I can actually zoom in on some of these, but you can see what some different people are doing. You know, it gives you some ideas. You know, creating cartoon art. You know, so as I said, you're going through here, and it sparks ideas of things that you might want to try. I've done several of these ideas, but generally, when I do some of these, I will make it. I would do something to make it different than what they have. I might use different words or different color palette. Or I may specify certain words. So just leaving it there, you know, that's some of the things that you can do. Some of the artwork or how it's actually generated for Midjourney. So I hope you found this informative and useful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Be more than happy to answer them the best I can. If you have any questions, maybe I can do another demonstration later to refine some of those. And be on the lookout as I decide to put up a site for maybe posters, canvas work, that type of thing on a different site. That's in the works. It's just time consuming and getting those done, and I only do those when I'm not actually doing work, which I do a lot of. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, as I cover a lot of different things on art, money making ideas, you know, how to make side hustle, how to make money on a side hustle doing different things, or actually how to build websites and marketing and things of that sort. So stay tuned, and I'll be back with another video soon.